It's Robert Elliott here with Renee Van Heel, and we got a really cool podcast coming up for you today. Today is all about how to persevere through failure to success and some of the secrets to surviving life's up and downs. And I'm so excited to have yourself here, Renee. I mean, I've had a lot of failure and stuff blow up in life. You're certainly no stranger to it as well. You were saying you're really, really good at failing and things blowing up. The cool thing is, though, you've created an incredible charity, an incredible successful business, despite all this stuff happening, all these failures. So I'm pumped to have you here, honestly, and because I think life can get us down. I mean, look at the past couple of years, and that's just added to everything else going on in the world with people. And so a lot of people are not in great places. So I really love our talk, and I want to give some valuable tips and things today to people. But tell us a bit about yourself, a bit about your story. Give us a quick gist of you and your life. You do so many cool things. You got your payment processing system. You got a charity. You got other things you're working on. My goodness, you're a heck of a thought leader. That's for sure.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much for having me, because to me, life happens and it's about sharing it with other people so that they can say, oh, that happened to me and someone survived it. So guess what? We can too. But even just a little background, I knew at age 12 I would be an entrepreneur my whole life. So, and I grew up in a family business. My dad was an entrepreneur, and I love it. I had one job in my life because I needed some extra money to go to Europe when I was in high school. And after 3 months, I was a waitress. And they said, Renee, we love having you around, but we're not asking you back. So that was the day I knew I was unemployable. so I said, okay, I have to make it work. It's not for me. And they didn't realize that was a compliment for me, because I love business. My favorite thing about business is the people. So I have learned how to surround myself with the right kind of people. And especially when you go through life's up and downs. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. So what did I do? I hung around other survivors. So I knew that the positive attitude that I needed. Was it easy going through it? Heck no. Or was I frustrated? And were there times I said, why me? Oh, yes, you totally do that. But the thing is that what I've learned is you have to stick to what is the next step moving forward. And in '07, this was probably the pivotal changing moment of my life. In 2007, we lived in San Diego, and we lost our house in a wildfire. And literally everything, we were not even there. So we watched our house burn on TV, our cars, literally everything burned. And it's like, okay, new chapter in my book of life. How am I going to survive this? We had 3 teenagers. And it was also right after that was my second cancer. But one of the big things, James, that I'd love to share with people is you have to take and be thankful for 3 things every day. And it was funny because some days it's like, okay, I'm breathing. But guess what? It's something to be thankful for.
Some people can't.
And so that's life's happenings. But there are things that we do and we fail at too. But so I want to put it back on you a little bit because you've had really, really, and I call them good challenges, because it's a good challenge when it makes us grow. And if you're not growing, you're not breathing, you're kind of dead. So I always joke about that one too. So what are some things that you've done during those tough times in your life to get through them?
So, and that's a great question. I mean, to your point, if you don't want to be a victim, don't hang out with other victims. If you hang out with other victims, you're a direct reflection of the top 5 to 10 people you spend the most time with. So I tell people, choose wisely. And one of my recipes for success and reasons is just hanging out with great people, great, inspired, motivated people. They'd kick my butt when I need it, give me the hug when I need it. They'd talk to me when I need it, and get me out of the place. And then, of course, learning all the amazing tools that I have that I now teach, things like NLP, timeline therapy, mindset, all this stuff. How to be extremely confident, how to communicate, and how to look at life and problems and people in a whole new, inspiring and empowering way. because, well, as you know, life happens for us, not to us, no matter what happens, how bad it is. And I
Yeah.
get it sucks. I've been there for a lot of things, and I have, there's lots of things I haven't been there for, but it sucks in the moment, but it really can set you up for success and for what you want to achieve in your life and how
Yeah.
you want to help people.
Well, and
That's
one
that's
of
the
the
thing.
big things, yeah, one thing that you just said triggered something.
Yeah,
When the
yeah.
fires happened, there were 1,100 homes that burned. I formed a group called Fired Up Sisters because I was always
Very cool.
told, if you are helping other people, you cannot think about your misery. So, and that's
Yeah.
one thing my dad taught me. And so I went, okay, so all these people, 1,100 people, literally have nothing, have lost nothing, and we're all out there alone. And so when I formed this group, Fired Up Sisters, there were 600 women that came together that lost their homes, and we did amazing things. We raised over $5 million worth of money, goods, and services, but there's no way you
Wow.
can do that alone. And we would
No,
have
exactly.
meetings twice a week. And this is what one gal stood up and she goes, because everybody says, oh, you're a fire victim. And this one lady, 85 years old, stood up and she goes, I don't know about you gals. And there was probably about 100 of us in the room, but I am tired of people thinking that I'm a victim. She
Right on.
says, I am not a fire victim. I'm a fire survivor. Changed my life. Totally changed my
Right.
life. Just
Right.
that one thing. It's like you can be a victim or you can be a victor. You can be a survivor.
So
So,
true.
and
Yeah.
that set the pace for so many things that happened in my life on how I looked at things. And I want people to understand that we don't have to be victims. Yes, crap happens and it's not easy. And like I say, some of those days I woke up and it's like, okay, I'm breathing. That's it. But that gal, and I'm like, she changed my life forever. And I told her that once how she made the impact. She is no longer with us on
Mm.
this earth, but I just she impacted so many people. So and we would come back every week and we would report in and how many people called you a victim and how many did you correct. There were hundreds of these women that corrected people to say we are survivors, we're not
You're a
victims. So
survivor. Yeah, exactly.
so
Don't call me a victim.
that
Yeah.
to me is
Yeah.
the best lesson I learned.
I would agree. I would agree. I mean, all the crap that happened to me too with health and bullying and abuse and all kinds of depression, all kinds of stuff. Um, you're right. It's like I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. I'm a winner, and I'm a succeeder.
Yeah.
I'm a succeeder. I will succeed. And it's interesting because, like you'd asked before, it's just getting resources. Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do? What resources do I need? What skill gaps are there? And I think most importantly, what did I learn from this crap? What is there? What can I learn? And instead of asking why me, why is this happening to me? It's like, well, what can I learn from this? How is this good? How is this good for me? How is this going to make my life better? What do I need to learn from this? Especially if it's a pattern, if it's a pattern of crap happening in our lives, there's something you have not learned yet, something you need to learn. And if you learn it, it'll stop happening. If you don't learn it, it's going to come up again to teach you the lesson again and again and again. So I think that's something to be cognizant. And like you said, you play victim. Oh, it's not my fault. It's them or she or he or it or they, the government or whatever.
So,
Keeps coming and
so
happening in
James,
patterns. We track that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to bring it back to way back when I was dating. I have been married 38 years to the most wonderful man in the world. I'm so blessed. We are best friends. We now work together. We run our companies together. But until I met David, every guy I dated was a basket case. Every guy. So I kept repeating and repeating and repeating. It's like, and I would blame each one of them. Oh, it's their fault. They have the problems, this and that. And one day I had a client say to me, she goes, Renee, it is not their fault. You are choosing them. And if you keep dating the same guys, you are going to get what you don't want. And I'm like, So I changed it, but I'm going to be honest about something. And I think I shared this with my husband. So started dating him. I was bored to tears because he had no drama. And I had to learn.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's a whole mindset thing too. We got to escape of the drama making it
that's it.
interesting.
Exactly. It's the mindset. And I love that that's what you work on is the mindset with people because I had to say, what do I really want out of my life? Do I
Yeah.
want chaos? Do I want someone that argues about everything? And it's like, no, I don't. So I had, and it took a while to change my mindset and get used to zero chaos, because we get used to that in our life of busyness and chaos that you were. And that's what I like what you do. You work with people to change that mindset so we can enjoy life. I have so much joy in my life, and I have very, I don't have chaos, because I look at chaos different. It's not even chaos anymore. It is just what you need to learn how to get through something. So
Well, exactly. Yeah.
what is
And if
different?
drama is it is. And if I tell you, if drama is there with people, I would suggest that there's a lack of boundaries or no boundaries there as well. But to your point, I've talked with people. I mean, it's interesting. We correlate dating with business, attracting jobs, attracting clients, customers, attracting staff, attracting leaders, or not getting what we want, whether it's positions or teams or customers or whatever, promotions, raises. It's interesting. I had a friend say to me once, "Oh, why am I attracting all these guys? The guys are just idiots." I'm like, "Thank you very, very much." I said, "Thanks." She's like, "Well, it's up to you." I'm like, "Can I make a suggestion?" I said, who's the common denominator without blaming anything, because there's no blame or the victim. I don't believe it. It's like taking responsibility. So I said,
Yeah.
"Who's the common denominator here?" And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I said, could it be that there's some shifts you need to make in order to attract different guys and different job opportunities? There was a bunch of limiting beliefs and limiting decisions there as well about not being able to leave a job. She was in sales. She's like, "Well, that's the only thing I know how to sell." I'm like, "Trust me, if you can sell, I can't remember what it was, textiles, you can sell just about anything, I think."
Yes.
But it was interesting, suggesting that maybe she's some work, and I said I'm happy to help, and just no interest. No, 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 it's not that. It's guys, and I got to find a different dating site, or got to do this and a matchmaker. I'm like, okay, but you are the common denominator, and it's so interesting. This correlates from dating to business as well.
It does. It does. Well, and I like what, and this is again, I like how you run your business, because it is about planting a seed. Because I promise you, she will remember that. I've had people plant seeds and I don't really, make things happen from what they said for maybe a year or 2
Mm,
years down the road. But the seed is always there. And that to me is what our job is. And that's why I love people. You can plant a seed and you can change their life, just like that one lady
true.
changed my life with
You're right.
one sentence. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wow.
you're right.
So
You're right.
I love how you'll plant the seed, and then next time she's going to go, oh, I might be the common denominator. And then she might go through a few more. So, and that is exactly how it is with business too. Like you said, if you can learn
Yeah,
sales, you can get a job anywhere. It's the same with running a business. You learn the basic
true.
principles of running a business. My husband and I, right now we have 3 businesses and we also run a foundation. And guess what? It's all the same principles. Every single thing. The marketing might be a little bit different from one to the other,
Okay,
but
okay.
health and wellness might be a little bit different marketing. Credit card processing, one is B2B, business to business, one might be person to person, but same concepts all the time. Where you have to put a business plan together, and it's just different products for different businesses. It's not, and again, it goes back to just taking the time to sit down, think it through, but you
Mm.
need to be grateful for whichever business you have, and for which, I mean, our charity is the funnest. So it's always fun to give money away. So, but you
Well,
got to make money too. So you have to
and
make
this
money
is
to
true.
give it
This is
away.
true. And that's
Yeah.
why you have such a cool business model, and to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh my
Bless you.
goodness.
Bless you.
I love how you with your business model you give, I think it's 10% away to charity of your, because you're a payment processor. You help companies take payments, and you give 10% away to charity. That's incredible. That's awesome. So I mean, and you do all kinds of other things too with your charities, and sorry, woman? No, it's something on fire. Remind me.
Oh, Fired Up Sisters.
Fired Up. That's it. Fired Up Sisters.
Yeah.
That's right. You have your Fired Up Sisters group too. I think I noticed it was fire something. Something's on fire. Fired Up
Yeah.
Sisters, which came out of the wildfires, right? So
Yeah.
it's really amazing.
Well,
But I think you're
well, and
right
this
that it's
is
the same
something.
principles.
Well, it
Go
is,
ahead.
James. I want to just take it back a little bit to the Fired Up Sisters. And this is why
Yeah.
you do, I don't want you, I appreciate what happens to me in life. So because of the Fired Up Sisters, we started as a support group, but we turned into a buying group. So I would go to businesses because we all were extremely underinsured. And so most of us couldn't rebuild because we didn't have the insurance, the right insurance money. So I would go into these businesses, the lighting places, the flooring places, and I'd say, I'm going to bring my Fired Up Sisters in here. But number one, you have to give everybody a 10% discount minimum. Most gave 25. But what you also need to do is give 10% of all sales back to Fired Up Sisters. So that's how we got to raise so much money. We were able to help people with no insurance rebuild houses. We ended up with a 5,600 square foot warehouse because businesses found out what we were doing and they were donating. Home Depot donated so much stuff, Staples, you name it. But then all our wonderful mom and pops. But we took that concept into our pay it forward processing business. So we provide credit card processing to every type of business, e-commerce, you name it. And we have point of sale machines, but that's where my husband and I take 10% and we donate it to a charity. So it's called Every Swipe Benefits Charity. And the website is esbcharity.org. And it's funny because I don't always keep track of it. And when we were talking, I looked it up. Over $430,000 we've been able to give away. And on the website too, it shows securities. But I would not have had this program put together if I wouldn't have lost my home in the wildfires. So
there you go.
And I know it's hard when you're going through it to say everything happens for a reason. Okay.
It can suck. Yeah.
Because sometimes it doesn't matter, the different things you're going through. Some days you are just breathing, but I just want to encourage people. There will be a good outcome somewhere along the way. It might be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. When my dad passed away, it actually took 10 to find the good for some good that happened because he passed away. But it took me 10 years. So you never know, but there is hope. That's probably the biggest thing through COVID and through all of this. I want people to know there's hope out there. There's a lot of crap that has happened in the last 2 years. But again, you got to surround yourself with good people. No negative Nellies. No, not allowed in my life at all. That's why, James, it's so fun. Every conversation we have, I leave there with, I learned something and we had fun. So
we do. Exactly. It's just, and that's why you're going back to your point earlier. And then I want to talk about hope and having hope and how to have hope. I think it's just being successful in business, whether you're a leader, whether you're an employee, whether you're a business owner. I really think it's all about service, helping other people. It's all about service. There's a saying, what you chase will run. You make it all about the money or all about the promotions and stepping on people or kissing ass or just doing whatever you can just to get promoted and not really trying to help the organization succeed, help your clients succeed, your business succeed. I really think you're gonna fail or it's gonna run away from you. But if you serve and aim to help people, to your point, you could be successful in any business, any company, or as any leader. Aim to serve, help, and always be working on yourself. And that's why I love what I do. It's working on yourself, whether it's communication or mindset or self-doubt or imposter syndrome or just becoming more influential in what you do and getting trust from people, then they'll buy from you, they'll hire you, they'll promote you, they'll donate to your cool charity, they'll work with you, they'll refer you. And I think it's so important to get that and to really be about service. And like you said, during the wildfires, you, instead of playing victim or saying, oh, this sucks, why is me, why is this happening to me, you said, what can I do? And you went out and created a really cool charity. And that's amazing. It's just taking that, turning on its head and thinking, okay, life is blowing up. What can be good in this? What can I do? What can be good versus sitting around, complaining, whining, and without judgment. I say this without judgment, or just the victim mentality. It's like, how can this help? How is this good? How can I help? What difference could I make? And I think it's amazing that you have done that. And that's why I wanted to have you on.
So I want to give one quick suggestion. And we did this for our kids because our kids were teenagers when we lost our house. And it was at the time in 2007 in Southern California where there were no jobs for kids whatsoever. So what we did, we told them, if you cannot find a job to be around other people, you can go volunteer. And so they volunteered at a senior home. They served tea to women, and they're going, "Oh, mom, this is going to be the stupidest thing ever." They said it was the most fun and the best thing. So,
That's
so
cool.
for
That would be
me, if I'm going through a hard time and I am just like stuck in a rut where depression is hitting me or
cool.
something like that, I would go volunteer. I really want to encourage you. I don't care what you do. There's so
Yeah.
many charities out there that need the help. Please take the focus off of you and go help somebody else, and it will make a world of difference. World of
Huge.
difference.
Huge. It contributes to hope, because if you're up here, your purpose, like Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, whoever, your purpose up here, and the black hole, if you will, the vacuum cleaner of life that sucks us dry and robs us of our passion and fulfillment and happiness. If you're way up here, the car breaking down or the this and that, you're so high above all that. You're like, yeah, that's annoying, or man, it's not a big deal. I'll get it fixed. The life is life. If your purpose is up here and your aim is to serve and help, and no, you don't have to be Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi or whoever, but it's just have a higher purpose than just yourself. And like you said, take the focus off yourself, especially during hard times. Find some way to give back, help others, do something for someone else. Maybe seek out others that are in the same place and lead them, inspire them, and be very careful of the victim mentality or the complaining and the whining, because the human brain it pays attention to that. It gets our attention. That's why most news is negative. They know we'll pay attention to negative news so they can sell us the ads, right? So that's how the brain
James,
works. But you got to go against that.
I know. I have to tell you what we do in our companies. So we
Please,
have a
please.
very collaborative, very servant leadership. All our companies are that way. So we really serve our employees and everything. But we have, if they have a complaint, we're totally there to listen, but they have to come with 3 solutions, or we're not talking to them about the problem. And so I started doing that for myself. When I would find myself complain, I'd write down the complaint, because and you've said a couple things, the imposter attitude, no, imposter, I don't know. I
Imposter
can't remember.
syndrome, or
Syndrome.
imposter
That's the
syndrome.
word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. But so, and I don't care how successful you are, you still get that imposter syndrome. You still get the negative Nillies. But so my solution is, it's like, well, I better treat myself like I treat my employees. It's like, I put the problem down, and then I put 3 solutions under it. So I can't, if I expect them to do it, I have to do it too. And that has pulled me out of my funk so many times. So it's a nice little exercise.
And it's thank you for sharing that. That's a really good tool. It's like, how can this be good, or what difference can I make, or how am I going to use this crap and turn it into rocket fuel, like to get ahead, and because we all have crappy situations. There's people in us that in life that have better situations and much worse situations. Like you said, some days just thanking that you're breathing, because especially during COVID, some people could barely breathe, right? And just being grateful for 3 things every day. And scientifically, neuroscientific, it changes your mindset. Being grateful, whether you're spiritual or not. Again, spirituality, you're grateful for things, more good things come in. Whether you're looking at, how the brain works, your reticular activating system, your RAS in your brain, you can program it through your words, your thoughts. So careful what you say, careful what you think. And if you're focusing on crap, well, your brain is going to be programmed, your RAS, your pay attention system, it's going to go get more crap. And that's another reason why gratitude is so great, because you're literally programming your brain to focus on good things, because there's lots of good in life and there's lots of crap, and you're going to get what you focus on, and you're going to get more of what you focus on. So that gratitude, being grateful for things, even it's being alive, being healthy, having food on the table, even your credit card bills are high, or you just got laid off, or you hate your job, or whatever, it's a slow day at the office, whatever. It's just be grateful that you have a car, or you have food, or you have health, we have security. We have a society that's relatively stable. I love traveling, and I've been to other parts of the world, and wow, some people have nothing compared to what we have, and I think that's something to be grateful for.
So I need to bring up something. I bet you have no idea about this about you. So you guys, I just know from life experiences how my brain works and what works for me. Okay, James loves the scientific side of the brain. So when he's talking and teaching you things, it's because he has proof. He has studied this. And I laugh because you're going into all the brain things and this and that. And I'm going, I'm so glad he knows that because I don't, but I know it works. So, so bottom line,
and
hats off to
exactly.
you for, and you love it. You truly love how to
I do.
retrain the brain,
I
how
do.
the brain works. And I just say, good for you. I'm glad you teach it because I'm just going to go live it. So it was great. It was awesome how
I
you
love it.
explained it.
Thank you. I love it. Because you're right. A lot of people get the principles, and yes, focusing on what you want and taking action and
Yep.
doing the inner work on yourself and whatever, mantras and affirmations and whatever, and looking at our limiting beliefs. But you're right. It is interesting seeing the science and the support behind it. I mean, some of this stuff comes from the days of Socrates and Aristotle, where it was, mentor and mentee, and they'd pass it down in secret, and this was coveted. And now, luckily, especially after the 70s, after Richard Bandler and John Grinder, developed NLP and the best practices and they modeled successful people. And they said, okay, this is the recipe to be successful. We have people like Alan Watts and Earl Nightingale, and just teaching this to the public, all these amazing tools that were once coveted and only kept for the rich or the elite. And now we have these tools. But like I said, they're actually now more and more and more becoming backed by science, by studies, by psychology. It's so fascinating, and I love marrying the two together, performance with science.
Well, and that's what's so amazing. Again, that's why I surround myself with you because I don't want to learn all the science. I just want you to tell me. But, and I go back to my very first book I read, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Mm-hmm.
That still is one of the number one books for people to read. And so I look at that and I am self-taught. So when I was 18, my dad passed away and left us the family business. Well, 3 days after he passed away, he was only 50, he died very sudden. I was 18. We go to the office, the IRS is there. That's back when they used to literally chain your doors when you owed back taxes. None of us knew he owed back taxes. So every time I wanted to learn something in business, so we had to decide to take that business. Are we going to close doors? Or are we going to make it successful? We made it successful extremely. I have siblings that we all work together. But the big thing is I needed to learn about how to grow my leadership. Got a book. Ken Blanchard, John Maxwell, Dale Carnegie. Those are the old books that are still good that you're talking about, that they are scientifically now proven to be successful.
Exactly. The principle.
So I never let people use the victim excuse, well, I couldn't afford to go to college. Well, guess what? I wasn't able to. I got pulled out. I did 2 years and then I got pulled out to run the family business. But guess what? You still can be successful. You take the time to learn and surround yourself with people. You would not believe the mentors I had. And it boosted me beyond anything that I could have learned. I mean, yes, college is good and you learn stuff, but if you do not have that ability to attend, you can still learn and do well.
Agreed. Agreed. And I've been to college and university and graduate studies and all kinds of other courses and mentors and trainings. And yes, I mean, university taught me how to learn, how to excel despite doing a million things at once and being busier than I'll get out. But it's interesting, right? The things that have helped me the most are my mentors and the course I took after college, after university, the experience, the masterminds, like the mentors and coaches I've had, all the trainings I've had on business and persuasion, influence, people, human behavior. And so you're right. Just because you can't go to college or don't go or haven't gone to college or university, it really doesn't mean anything. I mean, I love education. However, you do it, whatever you think is better for you. I think personal development and education and skills and bettering yourself is paramount. How you do that is really irrelevant to success as long as you do that in some way.
So James, and I have a friend who could not go to college. And to this day, she plays the victim. I don't succeed because I didn't go to college. I didn't have the money. My mom and dad couldn't afford it. And, and that goes back to, are you a victor or a victim? And I had to learn very young, do I want to make this work? And how am I going to make it work? And I asked myself that question, how am I going to do this to take it to the next level? It doesn't matter if you are uber successful, you still ask those questions. And I love, and Elon Musk has been in the news a lot, but you don't think that guy asks himself, what am I going to do next? How am I going to make this better?
Yeah.
Hello. That's all about our life. How am I going to make my life better today than yesterday? And that's where the hope
And
comes
that's
in,
the thing.
because we do have that.
Yep. Well, and
So,
exactly, and not comparing yourself to others, letting other people inspire you that are ahead of you, but avoid comparing. I mean, do you want to be exactly like them, or do you want to be you? Hopefully, you want to be you. I can recommend it's the
yeah,
most fulfilling thing. But you're right.
yeah,
And I mean, stuff happens. Stuff in life happens to us. I think it's either tell us to pay the heck attention, silly. You're not being, or you pay attention, dummy. You're not paying attention, or wakes us up. Whether we have an accident, or something blows up in our life, something fails, something doesn't work, a layoff, a breakup. I got laid off twice in the height of my sales career from multinational companies. And like, oh, life was telling me, no, that's not meant for you. You're meant to, to go in and teach and inspire, leaders, teams, business owners, and people to be better and more trustworthy and more influential, and to communicate better, so that people choose them and people say yes to them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I think it's important and interesting when things happen, realizing it's a message. There's something we're not getting, and if you're not getting it, seek a mentor, a coach, or a friend, or ask yourself, what am I not seeing? What do I need to learn, versus why me, or why does it happen to me? You're asking the wrong questions.
yeah,
What do I need to do? What am I not seeing? What do I need to change? How do I need to grow? What resources do I need? What gaps do I fill?
yeah.
What do I need to
Well,
change?
Well, and James, I kind of want to end on this too, and I
Mm-hmm,
hope
mm-hmm.
someday we can stop talking about COVID. But I'm
Yes,
telling you,
absolutely.
mentally, it affected people a lot. It really did. It was something very serious. I found out I do not quarantine well.
Oh my God, tell me.
I had a brain shift that it was really tough, and so everything I learned, I kept saying I need to do what I'm saying. So I know it's easier said than done some days, but what I ended up doing is I went onto Facebook and I found some groups, and I put in the word victors, not victims. I put in the word
Mm,
positivity. I put in the word fun, and I found people to have conversations with. So I know some people are still isolated and some people are still fighting back to get their joy and their fun back in their life. It's been
right
a
on.
pretty brutal 2 years for so many people. And I actually said, if I'm struggling a little bit, what the heck is happening to these other people that haven't had all
True.
that
True.
positivity? So, I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
encourage people, there is so much you can do, even if you're isolated at home. Do not give up. Do not, and just be,
Never.
depressed. There are wonderful people out there in the same boat that we all can connect to.
Agreed. Reach out to someone, anyone. Avoid staying, in stewing and staying in your own mess. Reach out to someone, anyone, because as you said, you and I, we persevere. We are the king and queen of perseverance. We persevered through a lot of crap in life. And I think perseverance and the stuff that happens to us, it's a test. It's, are you committed? How committed are you to get to where you want? And if you can kind of prove or show that you're committed, great, it's given to you, versus everyone wanting it willy nilly. And it's a test, but also it equips you. I think being able to persevere through things and going from one, disaster or mess or blow up to another without losing any motivation, that's perseverance, and it's a great teacher, and it sets you up for success and sets you up to be able to help teach others, lead others, mentor, coach others, train others, and be a heck of a business person. And
Yeah,
I think that's a great way to leave it, to tag on to what
yeah,
you said. How can
yeah.
people find more about you? I mean, you got your payment processing system. If someone needs a payment processor that donates 10%, that's amazing, amazing, amazing. You do cool stuff with health food products. You do Shackley health food products and cleaners and healthy cleansers and stuff. You have your Fired Up Women, all kinds of stuff. Tell us, I have it up here on the screen, but Renee at gcehealth.com, goldcoastfoundation.org. Any other ways people can reach you, Renee? Those are all the best ones.
Well, and that's probably, you can go to goldcoastfoundation.org and you can see all the companies we do. Because we also, one big thing I like to point out, we actually have fundraising programs for charities. That is very near and dear to my heart.
Very cool.
Didn't used to be until you
You are
lose
incredible.
everything, your heart changes, but good way
This
to
is true.
catch me. And then gchealth.com, Renee at gchealth.com. That is actually my personal email address too. So I do look at it at least once every 2 weeks. Just kidding. But I do. And I would, anybody that just wants to have a conversation on different things, I am here. It is
Yep.
a wonderful journey I've been on, and I know what it's like to have true joy. Wasn't always easy to get there, but right now I'm in a place. I have true joy every day, and it's wonderful. It really is. And James, thank
I
you
love it.
so much for having me. I appreciate it.
A pleasure. Thank you for being here and for showing us you can have joy. And I tell people this too, but you're living proof as well that you can have joy in any situation. Life happens, good and bad happens. Winter comes, but winter ends. There's always a new season. It's just finding ways to enjoy every season and to find joy, find growth at every season. I think that makes us stronger. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Whether it's the teachings of the German philosopher Nietzsche, or whether it's American Idol star Kelly Clarkson, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I'll leave it there. This has been amazing. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your time. Thanks for helping me do what I love. And I can't wait to with you. We'll have to have you back for sure.
Thank you. I love it.
Amazing.
Have a blessed day.
Thanks for everyone listening. Have a great